From Robert Buchel's episode taking a tragic turn, to Lee Sutton becoming the most toxic spouse on the show.
You have lots of problems. You have an anger problem. You have a violent problem.
Here are the moments from My 600 Pound Life that broke the internet, starting with Lisa Fleming, who appeared in Season 6, Episode 7, and became one of the most hated patients on the show due to her unwillingness to change. Developing an eating disorder pretty early on in her life, Lisa had become practically immobile by the time her episode aired because of her extreme weight gain. But what made her story especially infuriating was how she got herself to the point where her daughter Danielle had to care for her in every way possible, which involved giving her frequent baths, wiping her clean, and putting up with her constant complaints.
Oh, Danielle, you just broke my skin. I felt it. Oh.
But what made the viewers especially upset was not the way Danielle was catering to her mother, but rather Lisa's teenage grandson, who had to see his grandmother getting bathed in her bed and was even expected to help her out. This especially got the viewers mad, with one commenting, "I can't believe she let her grandson see all of her business. That's just too much for that poor thing to see so young." However, this was just the tip of the iceberg, as what Lisa revealed next would only add to viewers' disgust.
A month ago, I started feeling sick and my leg was really bothering me. I kept saying, my leg is hurting bad. And when Danielle pulled open the folds of my skin, she found little maggots on there.
As she revealed her declining health conditions, viewers couldn't help but criticize her for letting her body deteriorate to such an extent, saying, "If maggots feeding on your leg doesn't kick you into change, I don't know what will." Despite it all, Lisa kept continuing with her eating habits, growing worse with time.
Danielle,
Ma'am?
did you put cheese in my rice?
Yes, I will.
Don't forget my pepper.
I got it.
While Danielle was left making her countless meals every day, afraid of being ridiculed by her own mother.
And if my mom doesn't get her way, everybody has to pay. She will fuss, she will curse, she probably would put us out.
As expected, this did not sit well with the viewers. This is not food addiction, this is victim mentality. This woman has never taken responsibility for anything, and she enjoys someone constantly looking after her. The backlash surrounding Lisa's antics would only worsen following her appointments with Dr. Now, where she would repeatedly cheat on her diet and keep gaining weight, eventually reaching the point where Dr. Now had to knock some sense of responsibility into her regarding her situation.
You start taking things seriously, because you're just about out of chance at this point. Okay.
But it didn't take her long to disregard his counsel and carry on with her routine. The breaking point, however, came when Dr. Now grew suspicious of her progress.
So we only have her down to 628. So something isn't adding up. With the controlled diet she's been on, she should have lost at least 60 to 70 pounds by now.
And not surprisingly, he found the cause of her stagnant weight, which Lisa denied eating at all.
He was laying right there because I was crying this morning.
Lisa, stop it. This is the junk you've been eating. This is why you're not losing any weight.
And even after Dr. Now and Lisa's family tried their very best, she was nothing but ungrateful and proceeded to complain about her treatment and the program.
And your body is likely worse than ever.
I need help. I've been trying to say that for the longest. I need help. I get nothing. I get no help.
What do you mean no help? We have given you everything, Lisa. You're down here, we gave you all the help and the tool you need to lose weight. And you wasted half a year. This is unacceptable.
Just like Dr. Now, viewers watching her episode were running out of patience, saying people like her give me compassion fatigue. At first you really feel for her, but as she keeps screaming for help while actively denying help, the sense of compassion and empathy dries up real fast. Quite expectedly, Lisa failed the program terribly. However, it was a different story for David and Benji, whose appearance in Season 6, Episode 10 of the show was nothing short of a life-changing experience. The two brothers weighed a total of 1,400 pounds combined and were desperate to make a change. But every time they attempted to make any effort, their relationship with food held them back.
But we both tried everything to stop it. And food has been such a huge part of our lives for so long.
David especially was really emotional about his deteriorating body and was determined to turn things around.
But I know that I'm about to lose everything.
And I am very worried that my family is gonna have to bury me.
and that my 13-year-old daughter is gonna have to walk next to her father's coffin and put me in the ground. And it won't be long before the same thing happens to Benji.
And he used that emotional trigger as a fuel to make the changes he needed to make.
I know I have to start somewhere, and that it'll get better if I don't give up. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm pushing myself to do more every day. And hopefully I can start walking more soon.
Which the viewers really loved. Benji, on the other hand, was not treating his weight loss as seriously.
But I've been doing a lot to lose weight and make my own progress. And I've adjusted my diet a good bit. But some of the changes have been a little hard.
And sure enough, the massive difference in their weight loss was evident in their next weigh-in, where Benji lost only 11 pounds in a month, while David shocked everyone with his insane jump from the 700s to the 600s. He was appreciated by Dr. Now. However, Dr. Now was more concerned for Benji and his slow progress.
Benji has to take this seriously because he is at the brink of things getting much worse for him rapidly. And now may be his only chance to turn it around.
But Benji took his failure to reach his goal as a disappointment and stopped putting in more effort.
They don't really understand how stressful it is to have to go all day and work like I do. So I'm doing what I can. Even though I don't feel like it was fair with him putting the surgery on me.
Even going as far as considering dropping off the goal once and for all.
So after I qualify and David gets his surgery, I'm not sure I want to move ahead with mine. So I'm doing this for him. Because I've proven I can do a lot of this on my own already by losing weight. But I don't think I need as much help to turn my life around.
With his consistent decline in progress, in contrast to David's major achievement, it was obvious that he wasn't going to get his surgery anytime soon, but that realization helped him get back on track with his progress without any excuses.
Seeing my lack of weight loss at my last doctor's appointment was a wake-up call. And I want to keep my promise to David. So I'm working extremely hard right now. And this past month, I've completely changed the way I eat. If it's not on the diet, I'm not eating it. Because no matter what, I'm gonna do this.
Now putting in even more effort than he did before, he managed to exceed his weight loss goal.
I need to have lost at least 30 pounds a month. I did make it for one follow-up appointment right before the hurricane hit, and I was 398. So that means I should be at 278 to have stayed on track. Wow, that's a little more than I thought.
David, too, was making significant progress following his weight loss surgery. And things were finally looking better for the brothers, which made the internet go crazy over their remarkable achievement, appreciating them for taking the right step forward before things got out of hand. I am so happy for these guys. I really hope they keep the weight off and live long, happy lives. And even admiring their teamwork during the whole program, I'm extremely proud of these brothers for sticking with the diet and being each other's backbone and keeping each other motivated. And while David and Benji gained the love and respect of so many fans, Lee Sutton got famous for all the wrong reasons. Featured in season 6 episode 1 of the show with his girlfriend Rena, Lee was inarguably one of the most frustrating patients to date. He made Rena do all the chores while he sat on his bed binge eating food. Lee was digging his grave while he crept deeper and deeper into morbid obesity. However, after visiting Dr. Now, it looked as though Lee was willing to make the necessary change by completely transforming his lifestyle and adopting a healthier diet. But as it turns out, he was doing all this just up until the moment he got the surgery. As soon as Lee recovered from his surgery, he abandoned his healthier life and slipped back into the binge eating spiral. This time, however, he brought Rena down with him, because when it was Rena's time to get surgery, Lee would try to talk her out of it, sabotaging months of her progress.
He's still been overeating and doing things he shouldn't. And he's even starting to tell me that I shouldn't get surgery, and I don't know why. But it was completely selfish of him because it's my turn to get weight loss surgery.
His manipulative behavior was criticized by the viewers, saying, Lee definitely dragged Rena down. He liked being waited on by her and abusing her. I really hope Rena found someone who prioritizes her. Not only was his attitude changing for the worse, but his behavior towards Rena also transformed completely.
But that doesn't give you the right to mistreat somebody. The only time you are ever nice to me or talk to me like a human is when you need or want something.
Yeah.
Rena also revealed that Lee physically abused her in one of their arguments.
I am not physical with you.
No, you drive me there.
There is nothing to drive a person to physical abuse.
You constantly put me down, tell me I'm low.
I tell you that.
This came as a red flag to viewers who were quick to call him out on the abuse he was inflicting on Rena, both physically and mentally. Lee is one of those users who is always on the lookout for someone vulnerable they can take advantage of and make them into a servant. However, this won't be the last time Lee abuses Rena, as he does it again later in the episode, this time with a frying pan.
I was a little bit appalled to hear that a frying pan had been used.
But even then, Lee would try to justify it.
Actually, I wasn't intending to hit her. I was taking it and beating the kitchen up, breaking stuff, and she stood and got in the way, and she got hit in the head with it. Busted her head open.
And as if that wasn't enough, he also got involved in an altercation with Dr. Now.
What in the world is going on with you?
I guess I'm eating the wrong things.
You think it's funny? And you're not losing weight.
I don't eat a third what I ate
just
before I
answer
had
the
that
question.
surgery.
Indicating how oblivious he really was about his health. The argument took an even more unexpected turn shortly after that.
You're making me mad.
You
I'm
sit
leaving.
down right there.
You
You
just
sit
let
down right over there.
No,
Wait, sit down.
Okay,
let go of me, Renee.
all right, this is completely unacceptable.
And Lee stormed out of the clinic in a rage, with viewers relating his violent behavior to his relationship with Rena. The way he disrespected Dr. Now with the door. Can you imagine how he was off camera with her? And while Lee's selfish and violent behavior got Dr. Now and all the viewers utterly frustrated, it's worth remembering that sometimes progress isn't just about willpower. It's about giving your body the right conditions to succeed. And when it comes to health, some of the most important changes happen when you're not even awake. A 2022 study by the University of Chicago looked at overweight adults sleeping an average of 6.5 hours a night. When researchers helped them increase that to 8.5 hours, they naturally ate about 270 fewer calories a day without changing their diet or workouts. That's the equivalent of losing 26 pounds in a year just from improving sleep. That's why I want you to know about Sleep Lean, a 100% natural, stimulant-free formula you take before bed. It helps you relax, fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and activate your body's overnight fat-burning mode. And right now, they're running an incredible deal. 6 bottles for just $39 each, plus free US shipping, and 2 bonus ebooks to help speed up your results. Click the link in the description now to claim your supply. Now, speaking of extreme cases that had viewers talking for months, James King blew up the internet with his tremendous weight gain, first appearing on season 5, episode 11 of the show as a 700-pound man. James was heavily reliant on his family for everything that required moving, and being so overweight, it took more than one person to lift him and give him a bath. On top of that, James had extreme cellulitis draining in his legs, which made the viewers incredibly disgusted at the sight. What's worse is how, in order to take care of him, James had to pull his daughter out of school, depriving her of her fundamental rights and transforming her from a child to his full-time nurse. In addition to being criticized for being a bad parent, he was also criticized for being unable to control his weight, which continued ballooning each day. But the reason behind his weight gain wasn't his eating disorder alone, it was his enabler wife, Lisa, who kept feeding him to disability.
Mom, he really doesn't need that much, seriously.
That's what it takes to make him full.
And would give illogical justifications when questioned.
You are bringing the food, you're helping him to kill him. So why are you doing that?
Because if I don't bring it to him, I will pay hell the rest of the day.
How the hell is he gonna raise the hell in the bed?
James's health, quite expectedly, was getting worse because of his unhealthy eating habits and his complete unwillingness to change.
Order me Chinese. Egg rolls and rice, fried rice.
I don't know about the rice, though.
That's what I want, though.
But rice is on that paper that we're not supposed to have.
It's fried.
This is not something that just happens overnight. This is years of eating the wrong food and people allowing him to eat the wrong foods. And sure enough, after being removed from Dr. Now's care, his weight spiked from the early 700s to a staggering 840 pounds. His refusal to comply with the instructions led to Dr. Now kicking him out of the program. And as expected, this landed him an extreme criticism from the viewers who've been watching him deflect every opportunity he's been given, with one saying, neither took responsibility for his eating habits. He whines, she brings him food. He eats, he whines, she brings him food again. And while James's episode was marked with complete failure, the same cannot be said for Robert Buchel, who made his appearance in episode 8 of season 6, but faced unforeseen circumstances that interrupted his near-perfect weight loss journey. First appearing in the show weighing as much as 842 pounds, Robert had little hope of recovering from his morbid obesity, with his wife doing the work around the house, all while catering to him. But Robert wasn't willing to change his eating habits, as he had developed an emotional connection with his food.
I always incorporated food with feeling better, because it just made things better for me to deal with. Damn the consequences. That simple pleasure of eating something, as bad as it was for me, just made me happy.
And continued to stay the same till his visit to Dr. Now. But what was more concerning was that Dr. Now found out that on top of his extreme food addiction, Robert was also heavily dependent on pain meds, something he openly talked about.
What medication are you taking?
I'm on Dilaudid for pain, I'm on Lasix for my swelling, I'm on Ambien, I'm on melatonin.
This only grew Dr. Now's concern about his condition.
I'm extremely concerned right now. Robert is on far too many painkillers. And if we don't address that issue will likely kill him first.
As Dr. Now understood the gravity of Robert's condition, which, as time went on, would only become more complicated, the viewers weren't far off in understanding it too, with one saying, with these extreme cases, they need to be in a secure facility that keeps out extra food, like a drug rehab keeps out extra drugs. However, after learning the consequences of his actions, Robert eventually pushed himself into the right direction, and was able to lose over 340 pounds. Something the viewers really appreciated. Losing 340 pounds while you're battling an opioid addiction is tremendous. He gave it a damned good try, and that makes him better than most. However, there was still a growing concern that Dr. Now was not too happy about.
He knew he would be put on a diet, but he didn't expect to be taken off painkillers.
And he knew he had to do something about it.
Because he did understand that he was addicted to them. So it was a surprise to him when we cut him off to save his life.
But with his worsening habits, things had started looking really bleak for him.
I was never getting up freely on my own. This is more of a leg problem, not me wanting to do this problem.
Just stop with the excuses and get out of this bed.
Because of which, he was shifted to a care facility. Still, this did not help as his health continued to deteriorate even further. Despite all that, Robert was hopeful for a massive turnaround.
I'm definitely doubting myself more. I think because I'm still thinking about the road ahead and how long I have left and how many surgeries I have left. And I think that's really starting to get to me too. And that hurts me that I'm adding more stress on Catherine. And I have fear that one day Catherine's just gonna have enough and she's gonna leave.
However, his rising concerns for her wife and his health only made things worse, and while he kept pushing his limits, his body started deteriorating further until eventually, his body gave in, and he suffered a heart attack. The breaking point came soon enough, and with this, Robert's episode on My 600-Pound Life ended on a tragic note, making him one of the very first people to pass away in the middle of filming.
Now, if you like my videos, please subscribe or watch my similar videos here.